Hello and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is the June 21st, Wednesday. Good to be. I can't believe we're almost done with June. We're almost into July. July 4th is right around the corner. It is summer, and we've got a bad storm here today. We lost power this morning, but we are back, as you can see, and I'm very excited to be talking to you about the topic today, which is something that I'm doing a webinar this weekend about, but it's, do you actually need a website? A personal website for your business? Do you actually need one? Today I'm going to give you kind of a couple of reasons why I believe in what I believe in. Okay, that's what we're going to chat about and why I think it's important. If before we get into that, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and also check out A VO's Journey Elite Academy below. We've got 50% off the first month if you'd like to learn how to start and grow your voiceover business. If you're brand new, we have an incredible community. We also have access to Academy Voices, live sessions, so much. Check out the link. It tells you more about what we do there and if it's right for you. Also, there will be a link below to sign up for the webinar this weekend, which is why I think in a big part I'm talking about today's topic, which is, do you actually need your a voiceover website? And I think the answer is yes, and yes, you do. Okay? But it can get tricky on the timing. So what I mean by that is, when do you actually need a website? And what, is the importance of that timing? I think that's a very vital part to this whole thing. A while ago, if you watch any of my videos from years and years ago, I talked about the idea, do you really need a website? You know what I mean? Especially if we're using it just as a glorified business card, when most of people, or a lot of people, are getting business through other websites. And I posed that question because I had done a lot of research and talked to a lot of voice actors, and I found that 90% of them were getting zero business from their websites. They were getting nothing from their website, and they weren't even sure anybody was even seeing their website. So, you raise the question, do you really need one? Do you need to stress about that? But I think over the years I have found through my website that yes, you absolutely need a website for your business, and for a variety of reasons. But most importantly for me, you need a website because you need a website, a place where you can book your own business through. You need a place that you can build, that you own. It's interesting because the more I do voiceover, the longer I do it, the more I become aware of business ownership. In what we do, especially, we create pieces of art. We create our voiceover work that is our intellectual property, and we either license it or we allow people to buy it out from us and use it as they wish. But we create something. We're creatives, and we either retain ownership of that or we don't. And a lot of times, many of us, especially, many of my audience, we work through a lot of freelance websites, even pay-to-play websites. And because of that, a lot of what we do is actually helping to build these other businesses. Now, I've never had a problem with that and being a partner on something, working with another place who's spending a lot of time and money and effort to bring me work. I think it's wonderful. But I've become just more and more aware over time that there is a lack of ownership on our part and all the work that we're putting into these places. You know what I mean? I think it's very vital that we get our portfolio out there, use OPM, OPT, you've heard me talk about that, other people's money, other people's time, and to help us leverage our creatives. But when it comes to the ownership, I think who owns that client? And I think it's more important not who owns the client, but who owns that client's information. Because that information, the name, the actual name, the contact, and the relationship, who owns that, right? That ownership, everything you create even the words that you write, your profiles, your copy, your FAQs, your theory behind voice, or whatever, all the things that you create, the pictures you create, everything that you make, the demos, the files, everything that you make, right? You own it. However, if you will lease it or lend it to other places to help grow their sites and bring us work, again, I'm all about the relationship. I'm good with it. But I'm just saying that from a standpoint of us building something that we own, okay, the only thing, if you think about it, besides our work, which is files, right? We own nothing that we put out there. We don't own the websites we work on. We don't own the branding, the marketing, any of that stuff that they're doing. All the work that we're doing, we don't own. Okay, again, except for our intellectual property of the voiceovers we create. But if you build your own website, even think about social media. You don't own the social media website that you're building, because everything you post on that social media website, yes, I'm not saying that I don't like or use any of these. I use them. I believe in them wholeheartedly. I'm just saying that there's also a reason why I believe wholeheartedly in having my own website. Okay, multiple websites, because out of everything that's on the internet, no one owns the internet. Okay, so your piece of property on that internet is yours that you own, and you can determine how big you want to build that piece of property. All right, and I feel like that's the one of the biggest things that we can own, and through that, the branding and everything. So if you think about what you're creating and putting out into the internet and the world, whether it's social media sites or other voiceover sites, you know what I mean? What are you actually building that you own the whole thing? And I think from a business standpoint, I want my business to own something more, right, than just the work I'm helping other websites grow. Again, I have no problem with it, but I want to own my own thing. And I think that's a huge reason, and it spreads out into multiple different ways about your own website, your own piece of property, your own real estate on the internet that you own. Because in the end, if you take a step back and you do a balance sheet, and you look at your business, and you look at what are your assets and liabilities, you start to look at what are the assets. You know what I mean? Are the assets literally boil down to you? Are the asset, and that's wonderful. It's important. Our creatives is the asset, but then there is their brand. There can be a brand, can be an asset, absolutely. But your website will typically be, if you build it right, one of your biggest assets. And I hate to say this, and it's not being mean at all, but we are doing the best we can. But one day we're not gonna, if we can't, for example, if we can't do something, we're kind of screwed. But we can build something that we can leverage, like our website. There's just multiple reasons why I think it's so important to have your website. And in the end, the idea of your website is to get you work, is to show legitimacy, is for people to be able to trust you, that you're not, something else. God forbid, a robot. This is your opportunity to show who you are for real, and what you offer, and what you can do, and that people can try, and also build something more than just a page. So we're going to talk a lot about this, and also how to do what I'm talking about in the webinar this weekend. But even besides the webinar, it's so important that you have your website. But I do think it's also important to note, moving to a secondary area, is that when you decide to do that, is another thing we're going to talk about, because I don't always necessarily believe right in the beginning is the best time to put up a website. Okay, other than, what are the right things for you to get going, depending on whether or not you want to make money quickly or you want to spend time making money. There's a lot of debate on this. There's a lot of different coaches who believe in a lot of different things, and that's okay too. In the end, you have to determine what is best for you and what you want. Do you know what I mean? And then, find people that can help you accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. So I don't always recommend saying that it's just the right thing to build your website from the beginning, unless that is, the path you want to go down from the beginning. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is that, should you wait to build an entire website and everything before you start putting yourself up on freelance sites? I don't think so. I think you can do them in tandem, but I don't think you should wait until your website and everything's done before you start getting yourself up other places. You know what I'm saying? But once that's happened, your efforts need to be on building what you can own, which is your own website. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm excited to talk to you more about this. There's links below to all kinds of stuff. Check it out for more information and more learning. Thank you guys for watching. As always, you have a wonderful Wednesday. I will talk to you soon. Peace. Goodbye. Goodbye.